It's like look like homemade.
Mm-hmm.
Your home when
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, it
made.
sounds nice.
Uh-huh.
Actually.
Mhm.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakel midbarei.
I mean, it's not made right?
Harem.
טוב, אתה יודע, גם אתה אומר, זה
Amen. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. It's Bez Hashem is Baruch. It should be a big batzlacha.
Amen.
We'll print out the flyers for Yud Kislev. Yud Kislev, we're having Rav Ephraim Mintz, who is the director of the JLI, as a Taka Talmud Chacham. And I hope it'll be a nice Farbrengen.
Yeah,
Where's it gonna be?
We're going to make it in the Young Israel. Bez Hashem is Baruch. It should be
we
batzlacha.
have across the street.
Huh?
We have across the
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm there. So.
יום חמישי הבא.
Okay.
Rabbi Yossi Cohen,
נו, בא.
very good.
בסדר. Welcome to it.
Mm.
Just,
I don't need the singers with him. He sings himself so good.
It's good, it's good. כן, המלוך הגנזי.
Mm-hmm. I think Ishmael Call, the Kenda Nigunim, he's very good. So it'll be Thursday night and Tamashena Suda. So that's Hashem is Baruch. Just have to print out the flyers. I have the flyers ready already. Just have to print it out.
What do you do with Shabbos?
That's why I made it Thursday night. The last Sheva Brachas is Thursday afternoon.
So then you use that.
Exactly. I'm good. Still, I was thinking doing it Wednesday night. I said, I then have to add the Sheva. The neshama kriegt eruit.
Right.
This
Time
time it doesn't work like this. The Sheva Brachas finishes 2:00.
Oh wow.
I'm going to come here. We'll set it up. Whatever. I'll come here 5:00, 6:00. We'll set up. 8:30.
Come 5:30.
Okay, amazing. It doesn't have to take that long.
I can come 6:30.
So the table.
Right, 5:30 is perfect. If you come there 5:30, put up the sign.
Right.
Finish at 6. I can come 6:30.
Okay, I'll come 6:30.
If there's still work to do.
No, they'll be with it. We're putting out 12 tables.
But you always need
Yeah, nice tablecloths. So we do nice. We
from
put
the
the,
kitchen come to the tables.
we make it very nice every year. There was this. There was my uncle always tell me there was a Yid in America. He was a president in the shul. His Zayda was a famous Lubavitcher Chassid, the son-in-law of the Dayan in Vilna when the Vilna Gaon was the Rav there. And we became a Chassid. And he wrote to his grandson, Ayutas Kislev, must make a very big Suda in Basar Vedogim Kiminig America. In Basar Vedogim Kiminig America.
Probably the
Amen.
with an iron at the end.
Kiminig America, you should make a big, and he said it's a moiladik schus. If you make a big meal, Basar Vedogim, and he used to make in a restaurant here in New York, he used to invite all his relatives. He was a rich man. And made a big Suda. And he knew from his Zayda that that's a big schus to make a big Suda. L'kovid Yutes Kislev. Maybe shall help him that. So we'll put out the flyers. I have to give you a copy of the flyer right away. You can put in your store. Parrots, I'll send you tonight the flyers. You can start sending it around.
Also, I'll do it on WhatsApp. We sent 10,000 people WhatsApp.
So I'll send it tonight.
One, I said, do my favor, send it to 10. 10, send to 10.
Parrots, remind me tonight. I have it ready. I just this year I didn't want to leave it the last minute. So I prepared it already 2 weeks ago.
I already have big
You have there already?
Make sure it's in the format that.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, the past we've had issues. Or
So,
for people opening it.
And Viglo asked me, we can make every year. He makes a one parade,
Right.
and the Zama makes a parade. He wants to make the Achdus. He wants to know if you want to join the Achdus. I said, yeah, gesundheit. Why not?
Well, who's getting the sheet?
I'll join that. It'll be Monday.
Who's getting the share next week, by the way?
A learner, Rabbi and his brother.
No brother, no.
Rabbi Lerner will give 2, and Rabbi will give 2.
No garbage. Not the,
I already take care of this.
okay.
Okay.
Figured out.
L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim v'livrocha. L'chaim, l'chaim. Minik Chabad, it became lately Mamachta Tshuda for Chasna. Now, what a big headache. It's a big headache. Yeah, a gift.
Okay.
A spiritual sustenance, something, Savyad, from Chassidus, from the Chabad Rabbeim. You're supposed to come up with stuff, you know what I mean? You can't make them up. There's a finite, I don't have in my pocket Kislev Yad, but there's the style. My daughter said, Tati, you can make a
Sure.
Truda. So
What do you give to them?
I give it to all the guests that come at the wedding. My daughter's wedding this week, Thursday night. That's Hashem Yisborich. So everyone is invited, and you're invited. It's in the Razag Hall, Thursday night. So
Did you send an email or tell me how to check what where it is exactly?
So the kids are given in the style Machta Tshuda. So Chidusha Torah, I sat down, I wrote, I schwitzed for nights and nights and nights. I wrote up everything that we did, the Mishana Mokim, Lagabi Brocha, Lagabi Kiddush. I wrote up different, Kiddush Mokim. I wrote up 9 articles. Each one takes at least Liguzma 12 hours. Okay, more, some of them. And then take a long time. Then it has to be interesting. So I wrote up also 9 stories from the Rebbe. The stories are easier. Stories that I heard mamish in the last month, Meklidishin. stories that I experienced, or it's stories that I saw. Something that happened within the last month. But I also am looking for Kislev Yad. So there's a Yid that I'm surprised he's not here. Sometime he got a Yid. And lately he started coming a lot to the shiurim. 18 years ago, he told me he has a letter from the Rebbe. I said, "Wow, you have a letter from the Rebbe?" I said, "Could you come over to our house for Suda Shabbos?" He gave me a copy of the letter.
Oh, the doctor?
Yeah, Shlomo.
Oh,
I said, "Could you come?" 18 years already. I'm asking him, "You want to come for Shabbos meal?" No.
Now we can.
how is that? Okay.
Not last week, the Shabbos before. He said, "Rabbi, can I come to your house?" Sure. It's a Shiloh. He came. As soon as he came in, it didn't even sit down on the couch. He started telling the story. He was a little boy. His grandparents they really were all from Aram Naraim, Aram Tzoiva, from Aleppo. His grandmother's mother came here. They came on the boats, didn't know a word of English. It's his grandmother. They made her mark. They said she's not healthy. She should go back to Syria. So her friend erased the chalk from her hand and schlepped it to the other side. And got on it.
That's the way it was.
They got off Ellis Island. They came
Yeah.
into New York.
I know.
And nicht gewusst a word von English, but they kept mitzvahs. She knew how to go to a mikvah because her friend told her, you take a train, you take 3 stops, you walk 4 blocks, and you walk another 4 blocks, you walk down the steps. That's where the mikvah is. Nicht gewusst kein English, gar nicht. And he was a little boy. They sent him to a Litvish yeshiva here in the neighborhood, and he was a little boy. He remembers the Rebbe called his mother to school, and he remembers the Rebbe saying, "The boy is retarded. It's not for our school." He was there. He heard the story. I'm not making it up. This boy is retarded.
Tell him what he is now.
So he Baruch Hashem, a doctor. So he came on his way home. He said to his mother, "Mommy, what did the Rebbe say?" So she didn't want him to know. She said, "You're such a smart kid." It's a Yiddish mother. Such a smart kid. It's not for you, the school. So he gedreht and the guest said, "Abyssal went to public school." But he decided, he was resolute that he wants to be a child psychologist. He went and he graduated and he worked for a little bit. And his father was happy. Oh, my son has a degree, he's a doctor, my son. But then his father said, "Listen, let's talk real business. You know, business." He took him with him to China. 1980, can you imagine 1980? So we came into a factory, thousands of workers all bowed down to us. They get a bowl of rice a day.
If they get food,
They get a bowl of rice a day, and that was it. A bowl of rice. If crazy. His father said, "You're coming into the business. You're going to take over the business." But he already he's a doctor. So he wrote a letter to the Rebbe. He wrote a letter to the Rebbe asking the Rebbe was tutman. Asking the Rebbe was tutman. So he wrote a letter to the Rebbe, and he wrote it up Chayelul, and he put it in his pocket. He was going to bring it to send it. I was thinking Tishrei, the Rebbe is busy. He's not fremd to Lubavitch. Meir Buchatzeir brought him to the Rebbe.
But it's not.
Yeah, but fort, versteht the Zach. I didn't want to bother the Rebbe till after Tishrei. He kept it in his pocket. The violet got all crumpled up, and it got all crumpled up, and he didn't feel comfortable giving after Tishrei. It was all crumpled up. So he took the letter and he wrote it all over again. He wrote over the whole letter again. He gave it to Label Groner. 24 hours later, he got an answer. The Rebbe writes that sorry for the delay in the answer for your question from Chayelul. There was no delay. He just gave the letter.
And he was in his pocket.
It was in his pocket. And the Rebbe said,
He saw either way.
and the Rebbe saw the Ruach HaKodesh and the Rebbe. And the Rebbe said the Rebbe said that the question that you asked, they shouldn't go into business. You should be a psychologist for children. Either should children have to learn what it means to have confidence. And confidence comes from Torah. And confidence comes from me that learns Torah and does mitzvahs. And therefore, I want you to continue. The Rebbe wrote that you have continued hatzlocha. The Rebbe wrote one word in English, continue, and Hatzlach he wrote in Hebrew. Du verstehst? Because these people, they speak English, they don't speak Hebrew. But Hatzlacha,
This
the Rebbe didn't write continued success. The Rebbe didn't write Hemshech Hatzlacha. The Rebbe wrote continued Hatzlacha. Continued Hatzlacha. Unbelievable. The Rebbe and Taka, he decided to. That week he got a lot of job offers. And then the Rebbe write that Sachanake is Moisef Ahoylech, and that week he got a lot of offers. 15 offers he got. The last, the cheapest, the less was Oleh Torah. He asked Rabbi Groner to ask the Rebbe what should he do. The Rebbe said take Oleh Torah. He's working already 40 years in Oleh Torah. 26 people are working under him. Yeah.
Funny. Sorry, no.
Yeah.
The son was with my son in the yeshiva.
Adam,
Da from the Kinder from Shidduchim.
Yeah, בכלל, they destroyed the whole house. Really.
Yeah.
So the Rebbe told him to
Yeah.
call it. And
Yeah.
today
It's
he's
still
not there.
there.
Yeah, unbelievable. So this is going to be one of the stories in the True Bez Hashem is Borach.
You can send
So
And you
after
have the letter?
after Shabbos, I called him. I said, Shlomo,
Send me.
could you please send me a copy of the letter? Could I publish the story? He said, I never wanted to publish this letter from the Rebbe, but if you're asking me, I'm saying yes. So he wrote, yeah, it's a beautiful letter. Confidence, It's a very moedic letter. And he sent me a copy of the letter, and this is going to be one of the 10 stories I wrote up.
That's cute. It's very unique.
Some people write the Truda, they just put letters, Ksavyad.
Here is
Makesh. Yeah. Even the last chasna, there was a bocher made a truth. I gave him for my father thing, copy. The first my father was saying, you see, the Rebbe added 3 words of the whole story. Nobody know nothing. Ksavyad. What can you do with that? If you don't tell the story, then there's no value. You have to explain the story. So,
sometimes when I read Igor Spirish, I'm trying to figure what the person will go to the Rebbe answer.
Right.
Like I'm guessing, he's an Israeli politician.
There was one more story that I have. L'chaim Portowitz, he's in the administration. You know what? Let's take L'chaim. Maybe Shabbos will continue. I'll remind me. Maybe I should tell over the story again on Shabbos. It's a more than story.
Shabbos is going to be Shabbos Sherlock.
Shabbos Sherlock, as long as it sell mices from them.
So you're gonna have the kids that come through the.
You will have a kid this year.
No. In the tour, you have.
Yeah, so I have.
That we learned.
Yeah, all the stuff we learned. I wrote up all the stuff we learned, and then all the one of the stories I lately heard from a guy from the Rebbe was, remember that I told the story. This guy had a house over here on 1486 East 14. His address is 1486, and the Rebbe told some Mashana Mokum, Mashana Mazel, and he had the dollar, the number. Yeah,
kids.
Yeah, they had children, so it's Mashana Mokum, Mashana Mazel. So I called the name of the Kuntras Mashana Mokum, because I'm writing Chidush Torah about Mashana Mokum, and I'm starting a story with the Rebbe about Mashana Mokum.
Somebody who know will understand why we say Mashana Mokum.
So Mashana Mokum inside the Lagabe Brochen Kiddush Mashana Mokum inside the Rebbe story. So Baruch Hashem, I'm telling you because it's hot off the press. This guy, I have a guy is the Chidush Torah I have to write myself. But the stories in the Rebbe, if I'm going to write it, I can't sit as verstehen. You know what I mean? I know very very. As there's someone that his name is Shnei Chaviv. He used to write in the Kfar Chabad magazine, and he just sent me the file. I just got the file from him, mamish, a few hours ago. My wife just sent it to me a few minutes ago. Baruch Hashem, Toichen and Yonim, Sharish and Shasheni. Very nice. Everything is Baruch Hashem. I hope it can print it quick enough. I'll go tomorrow to the printer and he'll give me a mishabeirach. He'll tell me why didn't I come earlier. Baruch Hashem. So l'chaim. Hopefully another Shabbos I'll tell over this story and another story. Both beautiful stories from the Rebbe. So l'chaim. Okay. It's Chag HaGeula. And the Rebbe says that every Chag HaGeula, Side Tes Kislev has to do with number 3 because it's B'chodesh Hashlishi. Side Yutas Kislev has to do 3 besides being B'chodesh Hashlishi. It's also Yom HaShlishi. It happened B'Yom HaShlishi. And Yud Beis and Gimel Tammuz also is in the Kai. It's
Tuesday.
it happened on a Tuesday.
Oh, it's a gimel. It's basically gimel.
No, not because that. It happened that year. It was on a
It
Tuesday.
happened Yom Kippur.
So the Rebbe, there's a beautiful letter from the Alter Rebbe to Rebbe Levi Yitzchak Berditchev after he was released from prison. And a shtickle of that letter, the Rebbe quotes in the first day of Yom Yom on Chof Kislev. I'm sorry, Yutas Kislev, not Chof. Yutas Kislev. The first in Yom Yom, the first day is Yutas Kislev.
Right.
So in the Yom Yom Yutas Kislev, the Rebbe quotes a shtickle from this letter, which L'choyre is special about it. But the Rebbe himself spoke about it a lot, and you see that the Rebbe had a moedik kochenet, and to the Rebbe, this was moedik special. Moedik special. Hine berech lokachti, uberech hashivenu, l'chved ahu v'yarav agon agodl, butzina kadisha chasidu prisha, next to Veisach, nicht what this is. Lei HaKodesh maybe, Neire Yoye, Kamerenu Harav Reb, Levi Yitzchok, L'chol HaMestoife, V'metzil Etzel HaChoch Metichya, V'chaim Adoylom, V'frat, L'bonim Anachmodim, Musolom Sheyichya. Yan Moshach Hashem Oisi. The Eibishter was Moisheachni, not Meloshem Mashiach, Meloshem just like the Yosef Atzadik was in the boir, and the Eibishter pulled him out of the boir. The Eibishter pulled me out. Vayaleini mishor metita yoven. Vayaleini. It says in Tehillim that the Eibishter picked me up. Miboir shon metita yoven. The Eibishter picked me out from being in prison. The Eibishter schlepped me out from being in prison. Lavaser anovim liyishre leif simcha tzadikim Hashem v'yilaltem Hashem lekechem Hashem motzem ochet lahafli ad ein misper agida v'adabere otzmo mesaper. That the perle from the Eibishter is otzmo mesaper. Ki if Hashem v'hig the lasses baritz, the Eibishter made an unbelievable perle. And the perle was ba'oretz, that it was niker ba'oretz, and the oretz atachten was niker the perle from the Eibishter. In other words, it wasn't only something himmeldik, but the oretz down the mata masoret vachem, and in the oretz was nicker, the unbelievable miracle from the Eibishter. The higdil v'hifli shmoya godel v'akodesh, asher nisgadol v'niskadosh barabe. That the Eibishter's name was nisgadol v'niskadosh, was a kiddush Hashem. This miracle created such a kiddush Hashem. Ubefrat. Wow.
We should have to talk about Mashiach 5 minutes.
I'm talking about your letter from the Rebbe, and you just walked in the second. I was so excited. Here, we're holding the top line. Right over here, the letter that the Alter Rebbe wrote.
Right.
The Alter Rebbe wrote this letter to his friend, the Rebbe Levi Yitzchak Berditchev, when he got out of jail. So, you have to understand him, Levi Yitzchak Berditchev.
Wow. What spell base? Hey, Tzadik Lamed Chet.
You know that.
What spell base? Hey, Tzadik Lamed Chet. Hey.
What is that?
Hatzlacha.
Hatzlacha.
Yeah, I was telling about your letter that the Rebbe wrote to Hatzlacha.
Oh, the word Hatzlacha is in Hebrew.
When the Alter Rebbe was taken to jail, the Alter Rebbe said that they should write a kvittel to his friend, the Rebbe Levi Yitzchak Berditchev. And one of the shluchim went to run to Berditchev to write a kvittel for the Alter Rebbe.
Who was the Alter Rebbe that he sent the letter?
The Alter Rebbe was in Liozna.
How far Liozna from?
If you drive today with a car from Berditchev to Liozna, it was maybe 5 hours, 6 hours. A car, 60 miles per hour.
So it's probably like two the horse.
Yeah. It's not the next state low. If you go today from Berditchev and you get a car, Berditchev today is in Ukraine, and Liozna is in White Russia and Belarus. It would take you about 7 hours.
Wow.
So he came running to the Rebbe Yitzchak, and they said that the Alter Rebbe asked him you should daven for him. So he said, "What's the Alter Rebbe's mother's name?" Ui, I forgot to ask. So what is he going to do now? He's going to send a text.
You open a chumash.
The Rebbe Yitzchak opened the Chumash, and it said, "Vayar ki yeh shever b'Mitzrayim." Yaakov saw a shever. He said, "Oh, shever is Shneir ben Rivka." Shneir ben Rivka. Kachava.
היה להם טקסט אחר פעם.
Kachava. It was Machavan. Shneir ben Rivka.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. Shneir ben Rivka. So you can understand, based on this story that Chassidim tell, the Alter Rebbe had a very strong closeness, kiruv, adas, even though there was thank you so much, the Maggid had a lot of Talmidim, and he was close to all the Talmidim, but he had a special kiruv to the Rebbe Yitzchak Medichevit.
Wow.
And based on the story that he asked Rebbe Yitzchak to daven for him, it makes sense that after he came out of jail, he wrote a special letter to his friend Rebbe Yitzchak Medichevit. And he writes them like this: that Hifli v'higdol Shmei HaGodol HaKodesh Asher Nizgadol v'Niskadosh Barabim, that the Eibishter's name was sanctified in public. Befrat be'inei kol hasarim v'chol ha'amim asher b'chol medinas hamelech asher gam be'ineihem yipol ha'adov ha'hafla v'fela. That it was a pella to everyone's eyes, the miracle that happened. V'onu v'omra al zois ki ime eis Hashem hoisa zois he nifloas be'inenu. It's unbelievable to recognize the Alter Rebbe's humility and the Alter Rebbe's trust in Hashem. Person say, "Oh, I got good lawyers. We had good arguments. They asked me 22 questions. I knocked it out of the ballpark. I answered it so well." No, the Alter Rebbe says I was in a pit, and the Eibush that took me out, and that was a Kiddush Hashem that even the Goyim could recognize that it was a Kiddush Hashem. It's a pella. That this was a sign to the world that the Eibishter is with us. Ve'ein oid, and there's nothing besides the Eibishter. See how the Alter Rebbe is seeing the miracle? We know that they had 22 questions asked Alter Rebbe, he answered it so well, and that when the king himself came to see the Alter Rebbe,
So you go for him.
and he stood up, he said, "How do you know? How do you know I'm the king?" It's because you're coming with an angel. They tried to trick him when is day and when is night because there's no windows, and he knew exactly when is day and night. So how did they know? So he said because there's Yud Gimel, Yud Beis Tzirufim Hashem Yud Kevavke by day, and Yud Beis Tzirufim Yud Elikim Balayla, and at every hour is a different tziruf. So he sees the time. He's at a different time. He has a different clock. He knew the clock. He knew the time. So, so the Alter Rebbe didn't see it as wow, I was a great guy. The Alter Rebbe saw the whole experience. That Hifla, that it was a pella, and that the Goyim could see that Hashem itonu, that even the Goyim could see Hashem itonu, ve'ein oid. There's nothing besides the Eibishter.
I think this makes the Alter Rebbe more happy. That I know what the Eibishter. That I made the Goyim to know the Eibishter.
It's unbelievable. And the Alter Rebbe sees that now the Goyim knows there's only besides the Eibishter, and besides that, the Goyim know Hashem itonu. 4 lines from the top. Hashem iton, v'hine mi anoichi ki aviyana Hashem adaloim. Who am I that the Eibishter brought me to this place? Lihizgada, lihizgada shem shemayim al yodi. Who am I that the Eibishter brought me to this place that I'm so lucky that the Kiddush Hashem happened through me?
In some way, a couple days ago, it was about like me could have
It's a gadol shebigdel.
I still with this.
Shvala noshim kamoini. It's unbelievable. The Alter Rebbe explains what's a pshat that there was a Kiddush Hashem. The Alter Rebbe explains azoy. Yeah, let's make a little intermission. L'chaim, 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 l'chaim. Shloim l'chaim, l'chaim. Here.
Don't put it at the top.
Shmuel l'chaim. Okay. I give you a little bit. Okay. L'chaim, 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 leave it open. You take a little bit of l'chaim? No. Parrot, you want a little l'chaim? Rabbi Circus, you want a little Chaim? Yeah. Okay, very good.
Wow.
How about you? Paul, by any chance?
Yeah, the park. Yeah, homemade in the park.
Why? Yeah.
Homemade the park. Yeah.
The Balatan's son came out from jail.
The reason I'm doing a letter from the Alter Rebbe is because
Want some L'chaim?
where I'm not going to get a chance
Yeah.
to bring with the Olam on Yud Kislev, because Yud Kislev is going to be a Sheva Brachas. Shmulik is making that day Sheva Brachas for my daughter. And Thursday night, I'm not Farbrengen. Rabbi Mitzvah Shem Rabbi Ephraim Minzel Farbrengen. And I figured every year I like to do something, a special Nakuda, a Michtav, a Savyat, something. So I picked it for this year. This letter, so it's 4 lines from the top. Ikar Malchama Shesam Pneim Lilchem Al Teres Al Bashem Tov. Ikar Malchama was really on Teres Al Bashem Tov. The Talmid of Davke.
It's a war against Teres of Sis.
So the Alter Rebbe saw it, and in other words, the Alter Rebbe saw, and probably with the perspective of time, we could see it as well. That it's not the pshat that there were some misnagdim that didn't like the Sefer Atanya. It's all good. The Alter Rebbe understood that they decided, they picked on the Alter Rebbe. Chas v'sholom, Rachmana litzlan. The Alter Rebbe, Chas v'sholom, would be Hepach HaChaim. If he would, Rachmana litzlan and Chas v'sholom. But they thought that the Rachmana litzlan, it would be an execution. So then that would diminish the whole Torah of Baal Shem Tov. Probably that would be that if that Chas V'sholom would happen, Taka would diminish the Torah of Baal Shem Tov. So the Alter Rebbe says that the Ikar HaMelchama was not against me. The Ikar HaMelchama was Torah Baal Shem Tov.
Wow.
So you could be Medayik. Maybe Tofel of the Melchama is against the Tanya. But the Ikar HaMelchama is not the Tanya. There's nothing to do with the Tanya. The Ikar HaMelchama was the Torah Baal Shem Tov. And Me'es, therefore, Es Me'es Hashem Oisez Es Lonu Legalgal Schus HaYedeinu. So see, me and you see the story probably a little differently. The Snagdim saw it's Chas v'Sholom. That will knock out the Alter Rebbe.
That's it.
That's it. Everything else will fall apart.
Well, you know, I put the Torah.
Right. But the Tanya was reprinted. So
They got scared from
me and
the
you see it that way. The Alter Rebbe didn't see it that way.
atom bomb. Yeah.
The Alter Rebbe saw it could have been anyone of the 120 Talmidei Amagid. It could have been anyone from the 60. I was Zoiche. Wow, how was I Zoiche to be the defender of Torah Baal Shem Tov? How was I Zoiche that there should be a miracle that Al Yodi? I don't know. But I was Zoiche.
It's a novel.
Yeah.
It's such an honor.
Now the Alter Rebbe writes why he thinks maybe he was Zoiche the Schus. Galgal Schus al Yedeinu b'Schus Eretz HaKadosh v'Yeshveh v'Isha Alam da Lonu Lamed v'Tamad Lanu b'Chalais Mitzoi. It's so funny. If me and you would look at the story, what did the Misnagdim say? One of the main things the Misnagdim said against Alter Rebbe that he's collecting money. The whole thing, yeah, exactly, yeah. So really, the Alter Rebbe didn't see it that way. The Alter Rebbe sees it from a spiritual perspective. What's the difference? What Chas v'Sholom Amalshin said or didn't say? But Aliba de Emes, what kind of schus could I even hang my head on and say that in that schus I had a miracle that my life was spared? It must be in the schus of the tzedakah for Eretz Yisrael. The Alter Rebbe was b'mesiras nefesh. The Alter Rebbe put himself into the idea of collecting money in order for, because at that time for people to go to Eretz Yisrael it wasn't shaya, unless they were collecting money in chutzlaretz for them to support them, and there were it's a shayla. Hayom hazeh is gevaran a shayla. You know, like there's a moedik sikh in Tafshan Lamed. Unbelievable. I think it's Chanukah. The Rebbe says that Israel's making a big mistake by taking money by the United States of America. The Rebbe says they should develop their own thing, capabilities. They should stop taking money from America.
It's easier.
Huh?
It's
It's easier. But the Rebbe said it was.
I can tell you what to do. I don't need it.
Yeah. So, but that time it wasn't shaykh, and there was, and at that time, the emes, if we look at the emeskite of it, it's not. It was not. It was not just the way the story is told today. Kilu Zionism is the one that revived Eretz Yisrael. There were Fruma Yidden that went to Mesiris Nefesh. That much before the Zionists, and they were making at Sein Akdosha. Now the Talmidim of Shem Tov that went up was a few hundred Talmidim. And it was a very, very big deal. It made a very big roshan in Eretz Yisrael. The few hundred Eden that came and the mishpachas, it was a very big deal. They needed money. Right, right. That's right.
There's a chokah in there
Right.
anyway.
Exactly.
Supported everybody. You can't just see it.
I don't think they were close even with Kirvas Malka. The Tamid Agra went from Ikra to Yerushalayim. Tamid Hashem Tov went Ikra to Tveria and Tzfas.
There's a chokah in
Yeah, you go today to Chalk and Tveria,
There is a lot of
and Tamid Hashem Tov. Posha Talmid Hashem Tov. Talmid Hashem Tov. Basayin was in Tzfas.
We went over to swap afterwards.
Okay, so I'm saying, but and he's later. He's already a Doyer Shpeter. Basayin is already a Doyer Shpeter. The Talmidei Bashem I'm talking about is the Moshel, the Mendel of Radok, the Pia Oretz. He's buried in Tveria.
Right.
All the Talmidei Bashem and they made shidduchim together with Chachamim Sfaradim. I'm telling you what I read on the Quran. So, yeah. And so I don't think it was Bachal. The Talmidei Hagoin went to Yerushalayim. Talmidei of Hashem Tov went to the Merchik from Yerushalayim to at that time. It was
days.
yeah.
Most of one.
Yeah. So the Alter Rebbe sees that his schus is the whole schus is that he put in his koiches to collect tzedakah. So again, me and you see it as this was the reason that he was in trouble. Now the Alter Rebbe sees that this was schus, beschus eretz hakadosh v'yeshve v'hishi yom dalon v'tamad lon b'chol eis mitzoy laham tzalon peduz v'revoch laharchiv lon v'tzar ulachaltzene v'meitzer ularemem karmenu b'koved Hashem la'olam yeshev v'yismach Hashem amasam amen ken yeirotz. I'm taking unbelievable pleasure in reading this because, sometimes a letter like this, as a child, I would read a letter like this and I would see like gobbledygook. I don't see what the Alter Rebbe is writing. Like what's the Alter Rebbe saying? But you have to look at it like, wow, when you look at it and you take a read it. Alter Rebbe sees that the Ikar Malchoma was against the Baal Shem Tov, not against me. And the Ikis plus that I had that through me was his Gadol, his Gadol Shmei Rabba. Everything the Alter Rebbe sees in such a perspective.
Not me.
It's not me. And the accusation was collecting money for Eretz Yisrael. No, but this is the source that saved my life. And the Alter Rebbe sees everything in an underweg. It's unbelievable. However, in this case, I must be Meidia something. Why do I have to be Meidia? It's like so funny. It's such a strong statement. This day that the Eibishter made this miracle is Yom Shenichbal Boi Ki Toif. It's a day that has double Toif. Yutes Bekislev. It's interesting here. He writes Kislev with a Yud. Ganze Shaila Kislev is with a Yud without a Yud. Yud Kes Bekislev. Yom Ilula Rabbe Ptiris Rabbeinu HaKodesh. That it was the Yom that we know that one of the big Mashpiyim, Gershom Ber Pahara, that sailed, that he had a Kabbalah that he heard from Talmidei Hashem Tov and Talmidei Magid that were in the know, that right before the Heilige Magid of Mezrich passed away, he called the Alter Rebbe and he took his hand, he said, Zalmenu, Yutas Kislev is unser Yom HaElula. So L'choida, what was the pshat? So later, when the Maggid passed away a few hours later, they knew what it meant. It's 26 years later, the Alter Rebbe was arrested. Kaminyan Shem Yud Kei Bavkei. The Mashpia said that the Alter Rebbe's avodah was to get the Yidden to understand Yehudi law and the higher level and within Yud Kei Bavkei. And Mamela has the Shaykhs 26 years. So the Alter Rebbe says, so Pashtus, the Alter Rebbe is saying that there was Kilu Megalgul and Schusei Dei Zakri. That because it was a special day, Yom Hilul Rabba Ptiris Rabbeinu HaKodesh, that the schus of that holy day, I was able to have a special miracle. Kshayinu koidim the Sefer Tehillim, when we were reading, it's a way of the olden day. Today in Hebrew, we write kshayiti koida, but the old style.
It was
Right.
the road.
Right. Kshayinu koida the Sefer Tehillim the pasuk. Right. Oda b'shalom nafshi. Koidem sheschaltu pot kshalachrav yotzosim b'shalom. V'asayim b'shalom Hashem shalom. The Rebbe had a Mordecai Koch in these 4 lines, and as I said, the Rebbe quotes from Beram to go on do until the word Shalom. The Rebbe quotes in the Yom Yom in Yud Kislev. Was is Azoy the Gewalt? What's Azoy the Gewalt of what the Alter Rebbe is saying over here? Yom Shenichpul B'Ketoy, yeah, it's the Maimah Chazal. Even a child knows that what happened. So what happened? That Rashi says that on Monday the Ebshe didn't say Ketoy. And Tuesday, the Abisha said Kitoev, one for Tuesday and one for Monday. So the Alter Rebbe is saying that this story happened on a Tuesday. So Mela, this Indian that he's writing that it happened b'yom Hilul Rabbe Petiras Rabbeinu HaKodesh. Understand? The miracle happened on a day, an auspicious day. Megagal Eschus L'Yom Zakeh. What's so special because it happened on a Tuesday? So the Rebbe says, because Tuesday is a moededike thing. Because the Chazal say b'yom Sheni nivra machloikes, b'yom Hashlishi was nivra shalom, and the Rebbe has a big koch in it that by definition you can argue with one. There's one guy in an island you can't fight. 2, like the famous joke with the Jew in the island with the 2 shuls. Yovi Hashlishi v'yachriya b'neihem. The koyach of the Shlishi is to make shalom, and that's the inyan from Tiferes, the inyan of Yaakov, the inyan of shalom. And there's Vishafti Bishalom al Beisavi. Bishalom is based levels of Shalom. The Mittel Rebbe talks in it a lot. Bishalom base level of Shalom. Bishalom b'Pamalya Shalmalya and Shalom b'Pamalya Shamata. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means you can win an enemy through breaking the enemy, or you could win over an enemy by Shalom. Sometimes you need to. The David HaMelech, it was necessary for him. He needed to do it to protect the Jewish people. Still, the Abishah said the base of Mikdash, the place of Shalom, will not be built with you. It has to be built through Shlomo Melech, which is a Isha Shalom, which Shalom Yiyah beyond him. After he could make a base of Mikdash for me. So there is the whole akoch that the Rebbe had in Pada B'Shalom Nafshi is Pada B'Shalom Nafshi Mikrav Li. Instead of having Krav Maga. Instead of having Krav Mikrov Li, instead of having a fight, the Eibishter made that the Pediyah should be B'Shalom. It shouldn't be B'Krav. It should be B'Oifen Shal Shalom. So the Alter Rebbe is saying it was on a Tuesday. We have to see the way the Alter Rebbe sees the world. The Baal Shem Tov says everything is B'Shkoch Protis. And the Alter Rebbe said that with those that argued on the Baal Shem Tov, they said there's a lot of shittas about Hashgacha Pratis, and the Alter Rebbe said it's like Gefedish Gemara and Gemara Chulin, and the Rashi brings also Chumash in Parashas Rei. Sholach. That Rabbi Yochanan Kavechaz is Sholach Omar Marabo Masech Hashem. Mishpatecha Hashem. That Sholach is a certain bird that goes into the yam and he catches a fish. And when Rabbi Yochanan would see a sholach catch a fish, he would say, Mishpatecha to'im rabba. Mishpatecha to'im rabba. Rashi says, the Eibishter wants to take nekama in a fish, and he sends the sholach to take nekama in the fish. A cute Gemara, right? The Alter Rebbe said this is a befeidish raya to the Baal Shem Tov. This is a befeidish raya. That the Hashgacha Pratis is not only a min hamedaber, but also on a fish. Also on a fish. That the Eibishter wants to take nekama on a fish, whatever the pshat is. There has to be an oimek pshat. Exactly. 101 questions. But the bottom line is that the Eibishter is paying attention because he wants to take nekama from this fish. So Zebmendach, so we see from here that the Alter Rebbe said the Gemara is Mefureshes, and the Rebbe said that there was a story that Friedrich Rebbe was walking with his father, and they were talking something learning very deep, and he didn't even notice that he took a leaf and he started to ripped it off, and his father gave him Musa. The Alter Rebbe said that the Indian of the Baal Shem Tov was a shkocha pratis. The Eibishter created the world for a purpose, and if there's a leaf that falls off the tree, the Baal Shem Tov said, and then comes a wind, and the leaf falls times, that there's a kashgocha pratis, there's a kavona, and that kavona goes into the general kavona for why the Eibishter created the world. So the Alter Rebbe, in his perspective, and the Alter Rebbe's perspective, if he was in jail and he went out of jail on a Tuesday and the Yom Elul of his Rebbe, and Bishasi was saying Tehillim, and Bishasi was saying the pasuk Oda b'Shalom Nafshi before he got the chance to say the next pasuk. So everything ties in. Agav Urcha, the Rebbe says, why was he saying that pasuk? Because there's two ways of splitting the Tehillim. There's one way Kefi Shenechlek Li'Mois HaChodesh, and the second way, Kemi Shenechlek Li'Mois HaShavua. There are some people, senior citizens, have a little more time, and they want to say a little extra Tehillim. So they're saying not only the way it's Nechlek Li'Mei HaChodesh, but they say the Kemo Shenechlek Li'Mei HaShavua. And the Alter Rebbe, when he was in jail, he needed extra Siyayta Deshmaya. I'm joking, it's all older people. The Alter Rebbe needs special extra Rachem Mishamayim. So therefore, instead of saying just the Tehillim Kefi Shenechlek Li'Mei HaChodesh, he also said the Tehillim Kefi Shenechlek Li'Yemei HaShavua, and Nun Hey in Tehillim is on Tuesday Kefi Shenechlek Li'Yemei HaShavua. That's what the Alter Rebbe was saying, that pasuk. It wasn't stopped. Otherwise, the Alter Rebbe was busy, was learning. So the Alter Rebbe was saying that this thing that happened to me, and obviously it didn't happen by official Muhammad. Alter Rebbe is saying that it wasn't the arguments, it wasn't the fights that we made, it wasn't the lawyers we brought in. I didn't have any lawyers anyway. It was all Ba'ifin Shel Shalom, that the Goyim himself understood that the Torah of Hashem Tov is emes, and there's ein oid, there's no besides the Eibishter. So because one of the
Maybe it's Yud Vav, it's a play on the word of lady. Yeah. Kiss,
can say definitely.
Kiss is a pocket and love is a heart.
Oh yeah, can say. There's definitely a soid in it, because usually write Kislev without a you.
I'm so confused, but why?
One second. I just want to say something. So the Alter Rebbe and I believe Yitzchak, there's a story. They were mishadach twice, and the Alter Rebbe was very besimcha by the chassan. And there's a lot of it was twice. And at the chasana, the Alter Rebbe was so besimcha, he wrote to all the chassidim, everyone could come for the chasana. And the place was packed. It was called the Zlobin Chasana. And it was huge. Thousands and thousands of people. Today, already figured it out. Madison Square Garden, the Armory, it's all figured out. But then there was, they tried to catch enough fish, and Behola had to make a big suda. Today they haven't figured out how to feed 6,500 people. It's not a problem. At the Kinus, Bosser, V'dogim, V'chol Mini Matam. But it was this one of the stories that is said is that the Alter Rebbe and the Rebbe Yitzchak were walking together, and it was so packed couldn't get out. They couldn't get out of the room where they were, and the Rebbe Yitzchak said, "Mechutin, why don't we walk through the wall?" So the Alter Rebbe declined. Alter Rebbe declined. Alter Rebbe didn't want to do it. So exactly. The Rebbe didn't say I can't do it. He didn't say, "Oh,
I just don't want to do it."
Yeah, he said, "No, thank you." He didn't say, "Teach me the trick." So the Chassidim said. So the Chassidim explained that because that goes with the Torah of the Alter Rebbe, that it shouldn't be the Indian of krov, it shouldn't be the Indian of breaking. Similar to the story that the Tzemach Tzedek said, that is. The Rebbe tells the story in the Sefer. The Rebbe wrote a Sefer on the Agodah Shal Pesach. It's a beautiful Sefer. The Tabak, that he said that there was Balchuva that brought the Alter Rebbe a gift. He brought him a box, pushkala from Tabak. And apparently at that time, I recently told the story, a student of Baal Shem Tov, remember I told that it was very in style that time, Shmek Tabak. So he brought him a beautiful box, and it was made out of silver. And the Alter Rebbe said, "Ein Eva v'senishka mal taiva, mevilam onshtakim b'taiva." So he wasn't interested. The Alter Rebbe wasn't interested in the Shmek Tabak. But the Alter Rebbe said that he wants to use it for the tefillin. And the way the story was told is the Alter Rebbe broke off the cover for the box, and we used it to make sure it has a mirror. So Tzedek said that it's a idiuk. It can't be the Zayd that never broke anything. It must have been that there was either a screw or in that he took out and dislodged the cover from the body. Nicht zerbrochen. It's not shach zerbrechen. The Rebbe says that's in of Shalom, not Krov, not Muhammad. That's in of Shalom. There is in of Krov. You get rid of the klippa in the way of Krov, and the klippa in the way of Shalom. There's another letter, very sharp letter actually, to the Baruch HaMezher, which I called out of the Tzemach Tzedek, of the Baal Shem Tov. And the Alter Rebbe says that you have a taina to me. How come I didn't burn the whole Peterburg with a pipe? I could smoke.
Pipe, yeah.
And the Alter Rebbe says that's not the derech and avodas Hashem to burn. So the Alter Rebbe was to him it was a pafla of a fella that he went out bored ayoven that the Eibishter was Moshe Hashemoisim bored ve'aleinu and not no oifen of krov. Oh, we had a big fight. That there was no oifen of shalom. Pashtus, what was it? It wasn't that of Adam bomb fell on Peterburg. There was a lot of tainas. There were besides the tainas that the Alter Rebbe was avoided, but Malchus, there were tainas that Chassidus is crazy type of thing. It'll make the Jews crazy. Instead of working, what were they saying to the government? They were saying that instead of the Jews, waking up and working 9 to 5 and schlepping and being water carriers and this, they're going to start clicking fiddler on the roof and they're going to get some sugar. And it's going to make the people are going to become sugar. Nirpim atem nirpim, atem oimrim. They were telling the party, this is not good.
They got scared they're going to bring some to the Peterburg.
Yeah. So the Alter Rebbe was unbelievable simcha was that the Alter Rebbe that it was there was no shalom, not no malcham. So the same thing we have to know that comes that this year is 200 years of the Gula, the Mikla Rebbe, and it's 260 years later from the Gula of the Alter Rebbe. That also by us that there is taka. There's a lot of battles in our life, and there's two ways to do it. There's two ways, and sometimes taka. There's no choice. You have to break the klippa. But when there's shayach, the best thing is that we should do it by shal shalom. And this was one of the big toiras from the Baal Shem Tov that the Alter Rebbe said over so many times. That the Alter Rebbe said that the Baal Shem Tov said that if you look at Chaymer in the goof, you'll see it's your soina. And it's Rebbe Sachas Masoi that he's buckling under his job because really your neshama every minute in this world has a job. That maybe going to break him at times just a goofim, of tazavimoy that you should. So again, that goes very well with the Mahalach of the Alter Rebbe, that the Alter Rebbe was very excited that instead of being mikrovli, instead of being the Netzach and Shebei Heifen Shel Mulchama, it was Baifim B'Shalom. Okay, so L'chaim.
I mean, the Charedim now, it's a Milchama against the Torah.
So Milchama against the Torah. The Dafnish.
Why it's a soil, so many yeshivas, so it's a soil, all the kibbutzim, 90% of them gone. Finished. There was this, but yeshivas going everywhere. So this is the Milchama. We fell and they success.
Those misnagdim, they were Haimashayim. They're not. They were. So,
but we want the Alter Rebbe said. So the Alter Rebbe, look in the other side. There's from another letter. The Alter Rebbe wrote to Tziddim.
Not to fight.
that they shouldn't
Fight in Snack.
not to fight with the misnaglim. They should be in the michas ruach. Meine rach meshev chema, v'ruach nicha, v'kula hai v'ulai, yitin Hashem b'leiv ha'cheim k'mayim aponim.
No.
If you're not going to chas v'shalom hate the misnaglim, if you're going to love them, so kula hai v'ulai, it could be mayim aponim, will be actus of Klal Yisrael. And the emphasis taka, that's what happened over time.
They tried to
Why
get
is it-
Tanya
why
Israel, 250,000. If you sell 250,000 Tanyas.
Yeah. Okay, should be batzlacha.
Wow.
So l'chaim,
Hi.
should be taka b'as, every one of us, nara avodas Hashem, should be pod b'shalom. And we're making achona now for Yud Kislev in 2 weeks. And we're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful Farbrengen. Hopefully it'll be batzlocha, and who knows? It really should be in Yerushalayim in Hakodesh. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Amen. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. L'chaim.
Oda b'shalom. Abid hayo imadi. Shalom, nafshi mikerav likiven rabbi, imadi, yish kel yatzvei, shev kedem spel, shma kedem. V'yashev kedem Chilel ben Yisrael kol kamachmas b'bukrav liboy rakud varav mishemet mav sichos Ashlech al Hashem Yavech Yoveo Yechal Kelecha Lo Yitei Le'ayla Mait Latzadik V'yato Elohim Tordi Dem Leveshachat V'yato Elohim Tordi Dem Leveshachat Anshe Dami, Medami, Lo Yechzo, Anshe Dami, Medami, Momirma, Lo Yechzo, Yemei. We got to wrap up the Farbrengen. It's l'chaim. And I mentioned the other letter, l'chaim. That the Alter Rebbe wrote to the Baruch HaMezhebush, we had tinus against him. And one of the things Alter Rebbe writes to him, the Alter Rebbe says, when I was in Peterburg, I could have said that, what do you want from me? The Baal Shem Tov has a grandson who's alive. Go talk to him. The I could have said, you were talking to me? It's a Baal Shem Tov. He has a grandson. He lives in Tulchin, wherever he lives. Go to him. But I didn't say that, says the Alter Rebbe. So my Zayda, I remember, told me once a story that he heard, and I don't remember from who. Maybe it was from Rameya Samchachain, that it was when the Alter Rebbe was once, the Alter Rebbe met with Reb Baruch, and Reb Baruch had tinus in him. So the Alter Rebbe, on the way traveling, he wanted to make shalom with Reb Baruch, so he traveled, and he met with him. So the Alter Rebbe was on the way, was one town away from where the Baruch was, and there was an old man said to the Alter Rebbe, so Ish Pashut, he said, you're going to the Baruch. I want to tell you something. I was a little boy. I'm sorry. I was, when he was a little baby. There was once that the Baal Shem Tov was doing Kiddush Lavona, and the Baruch was a little baby, and the Alter Rebbe took him in his hands. And the Alter Rebbe told him to say with him Kiddush Lavona, and the kid started talking. A baby. Chodesh Mibeten. You're.
Sorry, you mean the Baal Shem Tov took him in his hand?
The Baal Shem Tov took. Yeah.
His grandfather, the Baal Shem Tov.
His grandfather Baal Shem Tov took him in his hand. Yeah. And the kid started to say Kiddush Lavona. And with him, you're arguing. So the Alter Rebbe laughed. The Alter Rebbe said, the Baal Shem Tov wollte genommen in seine Hand hat Zig. Wollte Zig echt gesagt Kiddush Lavona. It's unbelievable.
What is that? English?
If the Baal Shem Tov would pick up a goat, the goat could also say Kiddush Lavona. It's funny. It's just I haven't seen it published in any whatsoever, but I'm telling you, I heard this from Isaiah, and you heard it from.
A few times.
Oh, you heard the story? Oh, so I'm not the only one that knows this story. Hey, well, the Baal Shem Tov wollte umgeheben hat Zig, wollte Zig echt gesagt Kiddush Lavona.
And also
So,
2 feet. The goat would stand on 2 feet.
Yeah.
And say Kiddush Lavona.
So Bazoi, there's a beautiful word over here. You know that I remember when we were walking on Talucha, it was some Chastoida. We were walking back to the Farbrengen because the Rebbe used to make the Farbrengen, but you couldn't make it for the Farbrengen. The Rebbe didn't want to see young people there. So go on Talucha, and then we'd come back. Maybe you get to the end of the Farbrengen, but the Rebbe started the Hakofas at 1 o'clock, saying everyone could make it. And I was walking with the Rebbe Shem Tov then, and Shavar Shlem is the head shliach in Michigan, and shliach in Detroit.
Wow.
And I remember I asked him on the way, I said, whatever. So he said that the Chassidim used to say that Tzigan and the Lubavitch are Merkez and the Rebbe. There were goats in Lubavitch. The goats also saw the Rebbe. So the shaila is, are we seeing it like the goat, or are we
2
seeing
feet or
it?
4 feet.
Are we seeing it like a chosed, or are we seeing it like a goat? Yesh loimed that it's like the difference of krav or shalom. Krav. So toch nicht gescheiches. Kiddush Lavon and the goat haben gescheiches nicht. Alamai, Goydel Kiddush Ose, Shalom Hashem, can make that the goat will stand on 2 feet and say, but the goat is a goat. It's not toch nicht gescheiches. The shaila is if it penetrates in us. And that's the Inyan Be'emes of Shalom. Shalom is that it sits with us, that the Nefesh Bahamas itself, the Goyish Bekirbecha, the Goyish Bekirbenu itself, is Teufels, the guy that Einoid, that the Einoid is Nitfas, also in the Seichel, the Nefesh Atifis and Nefesh Bahamas. And that's the Gewalt of the Baal Shem Tov. And that's the way the Alter Rebbe saw the Gewalt of the Baal Shem Tov. And that's the way the Alter Rebbe saw the Inyan of Pada B'Shalom. So L'chaim, now our words Hashem should be Pada B'Shalom, should be Matzliach, Yud Kislev, should be the absolute Shalom, the Gashma should be Shalom for the Yidden, and we should be Matzliach in our Yud Kislev Farbrengen we may. Like I said, by the time we get Yud Kislev, it should be Yishalayim Yirakodesh.
Amen. I could tell you a Petersburg story. Do you have time?
No, the oilum is that's not might have now. Join us tomorrow night or Tuesday night and tell the story then, okay?
Come to the wedding.
You'll ask me. It's a Petersburg story that I heard from the head of Haifa University.
Okay, can't wait.
Boy,
Everyone now is in
Okay.
suspense, and they know they have to come to the Tuesday night cheer if they
yes,
want to hear the story.
I'll walk through a wall.
and slash on Zoom.
Someone's
Okay.
gonna walk through a wall to get there.
You
Okay.
Very
got it.
funny.
Sei gesund.
L'chaim,
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 l'chaim.
l'chaim.
Good night.
Good night.
What jackets?